everybody, we are making sugar cookies today.
We're going to make sugar cookie dough because we're actually going to show you the end process is what we want to teach people. We're going to be painting sugar cookies tomorrow. But when you roll out sugar cookies, you want your dough to be chilled and cold. So we're going to make the dough today. We could probably bake them tonight, but it'd be better to do it tomorrow so our dough has set for a full 24 hours before we cut them out. So we're going to be doing bunnies. Why are we doing bunnies?
Because it's almost Easter and spring.
It is. You can use any cookie cutter shape that you want. If the dough is chilled, the butter inside the dough is hardened. Oh, you want down? You want the cookie cutter? You want hold him? So you want chilled cookie dough so that the shape of whatever you're using stays firm. If you use some warm cookie dough that you just made or didn't get time to set and chill, the butter is really soft. So think about melted soft butter versus a stick of butter or margarine straight out of the fridge. It's a lot firmer if you let it sit in the fridge for a full 24 hours. If you don't have a cookie cutter, you can get creative. If you have canning jar lids, you could use circles, you can squeeze them and then you'd have an egg shape. You can use a bowl, a cup, anything could give you a shape that you have. If you have Play-Doh cookie cutters, wash them up, use some Play-Doh shapes. Bunnies. And we're going to make the cookie dough today and then we're going to actually decorate them tomorrow. So we're going to do some hand painted with paintbrushes and some food coloring that anybody can do at that point. But to start with the cookie dough, not sharing my specific ingredient amounts because this is my favorite cookie dough recipe that I use, that I sell my decorated cookies with. The ingredients are just butter, sugar, eggs. It calls for vanilla, but I like to use almond extract. You can use any flavor you want. If they're sugar cookies, you could do orange or coconut. Anything goes. It's whatever flavor that you like. Okay, so I'm going to start with, it calls for some butter. You can use butter or margarine. So I'm going to start with that. I've actually left mine out. I got it out last night and left it out. So it's pretty soft. So it's easier to mix. If it's not soft, you can pop it in the microwave for like 20, maybe 30 seconds. So it softens a little bit. And what you want to do is cream your, did I do it wrong? No. Cream your butter and your sugar together first. That way it's all incorporated really well. It'd be ideal if you had room temperature eggs as well, but I always forget to get those out. So we're gonna do butter, sugar. I usually double this recipe and I have it memorized if I double it, but I don't have it memorized just doing a regular recipe. Maybe if you pay close attention, you can see the details of what I'm doing to figure out what the recipe may be. The key to this recipe is there's no baking soda or baking powder, so the cookies won't rise. So as you set them on the pan, that's what they will look like when you're done. So if you have a favorite sugar cookie homemade recipe, leave out the baking soda. Then they won't spread and get all puffy, but they'll still have a great sugar cookie taste to them. So there's my butter and sugar. You can see it's all white and fluffy in there now. And it's all incorporated together. So then I'm gonna do trash, my eggs. It helps if you're not a good egg cracker to crack it into a different bowl. Then you won't have to fish the eggshells out of this here. And then I stir in the one egg. This way it's all incorporated really well and without over mixing at the end. Never do I ever dump it all in the same bowl. I usually start with the butter and the sugar, then I mix in the eggs. This makes for a more even distribution. It's all mixed in. It's really light and fluffy now. My two favorite kitchen utensils, a fork and a rubber spatula. Ooh, this one doesn't want to focus. Oh, there it is. Two favorites. So we did butter, sugar, eggs. You want about a teaspoon of whatever flavoring you choose. Almond is my go-to. Stir that in real quick. And flour. It's really hard for me to not say the amounts out loud. It's kind of funny. Once this is all incorporated, that's it. I like to roll out some saran wrap, some plastic wrap, put this in a nice patty. If it's in a big ball, it's going to take longer to chill, and let it chill in the fridge for several hours. The icing that I use is just a royal icing. So essentially it's powdered sugar and water. So you're going to need some sort of powdered sugar icing. You're not going to want like canned frosting for this technique because we're going to be using food coloring and a paintbrush to actually paint the cookies tomorrow. So you're going to want powdered sugar and water, and it's going to create like a glaze for you. Now the recipe I use usually has meringue powder, which are dried egg whites, starting to thicken. Make sure it's all incorporated, not that flour left at the bottom. If you don't have egg whites or the meringue powder, that's okay. It will still work. So if you just create, or you can look up a recipe if you need exact amounts, a nice glaze for powdered sugar and water mixture, probably about 2 or 4 cups of powdered sugar, depending how much you need. Probably 2 cups of powdered sugar would be enough. And then you just want to add tablespoon by tablespoon of water at a time. It's minimal water and mostly powdered sugar. Creates a nice glaze that we'll dip our cookies in tomorrow. So I'm gonna make this and the glaze, and then we'll come back tomorrow to finish it up.